Hello everyone and welcome to my video. The summer transfer window for La Liga and Barcelona has now officially ended. Deadline day is over and we're going to be discussing all of Barcelona's transfer news. So let's first start off with Ousmane Dembélé. And over the past couple of days, Barcelona has been putting on the pressure to try and sell Dembélé permanently. And that definitely continued on today because Barca were trying to sell Dembélé to Man United for 50 to 60 million euros. But Man United wanted to loan Dembélé for a year, covering his wages and paying a small fee to Barcelona. But Barca flat out rejected this offer and insisted that if they wanted Dembélé that they would have to buy him. And this one did go to the wire because people were unsure on whether Dembélé wanted to leave or not, and outlets were reporting that Dembélé did want to leave Barca and some the opposite. But in the lead up to the final hours, it was seeming like Man United were going to reconsider and try and sign Dembélé permanently. And this deal could have been done in the final hours if it wasn't for Dembélé rejecting Man United towards the end. And I thought Dembélé may be happy to go to Man United because he hasn't played a single minute in the past two games. And he does seem to be pretty far down in the pecking order, with Ronald Koeman preferring both Pedri and Trincao to bring on as subs in every game. And for that reason I thought he may leave, but because he didn't leave, we weren't able to sign Memphis Depay. And Ronald Koeman seemed very desperate to get Memphis. But we didn't sell Dembélé, and we didn't free up space with him leaving. And personal terms have been agreed with Memphis Depay himself and Barcelona for nearly a month now. And he has been very vocal about wanting to come to Barcelona. But the only reason Memphis didn't become a Barcelona player was because we couldn't quite get the Dembélé deal over the line. And I do agree with that decision because it wouldn't make any sense to have another player that would be further up in the pecking order to Dembélé. But now on to Rafinha, and we did manage to get this deal over the line. And he has now become a PSG player. But it is for an unusual price, because Barcelona were trying to get 16 million euros for him, but PSG weren't willing to pay anything close to that, and we only ended up getting 3 million euros in variables for him. But we will get 35% of whatever PSG will sell him for in the future. So this wasn't a very good deal for us at all, unless Rafinha becomes a high valued player in the coming years, in which case Barca will get a lump sum of money when PSG do sell him. But he did travel to Paris tonight to try and finalise this deal, and it was only with 8 minutes left in the deadline day that Barca and PSG were able to finalise this completely. So this one really did come down to the final moments, but I do wish Rafinha all the best in Paris. But now on to Juan Miranda, and he will be on his way to Real Betis, and it is on a 1-year loan deal with no option to buy, so he will be returning to Barcelona in June. So hopefully he can develop at Real Betis and get a lot of game time, because he was on loan last season at Schalke and he didn't really have the best year. But nevertheless, all the best to Miranda in the coming season, and hopefully he does come back to Barcelona a better player. But now on to Jean-Clair Todibo, and this was a bit of a messy one, because earlier on today Benfica did offer Barcelona 20 million euros to buy Todibo, and this was a deal that Barcelona were very happy to accept. But Todibo on the other hand was the opposite, and he refused to go to Benfica on a permanent deal. And in reaction to this, the Barcelona board were furious with him, because they did want the funds so that they could definitely secure Eric Garcia. But Todibo did get his way and he will not be going to Benfica permanently, but he will be going on loan. And it will be a 2-year loan deal, and Barca have received 2 million euros for his service. Benfica have also secured an option to buy of 20 million euros in June 2022 when his loan will end. And I do think that this is a pretty terrible deal for many different reasons. And one of those reasons would be that they do have him for 2 years, so 2 years to develop him as a player, and then they can buy him for 20 million if they choose. And Todibo, in my opinion, is probably worth more than 20 million now. So what sort of price is he going to be valued at in 2 years' time? My opinion is going to be a lot more than 20 million. But that doesn't mean that Benfica will be able to buy him. He may choose to just come back to Barcelona and not sign with Benfica. So we do always have that. But best of luck to Todibo in Portugal. And I was hoping that Todibo would remain a Barcelona player and that this deal would not get done. But the Barcelona board have shown how foolish they really are, because they've sent off Todibo on loan to Benfica without securing a deal with Eric Garcia. And Barcelona are very thin in defence, and that's before we even sent Todibo off on loan. But that does take us on to the Eric Garcia deal. And over the past couple of weeks, Barcelona have been continuously trying to pursue Eric Garcia. And he has also been very vocal about wanting to return to Barcelona. But Barca and Man City haven't been able to come to a conclusion on a deal for him. But earlier today, Man City did put a price tag of 20 million euros in one single lump sum for Garcia. And I do say in one lump sum because Barcelona have been trying to negotiate paying for him in installments. And that does take us on to Barcelona's first bid of the day, which was 5 million euros up front and 10 million euros in installments. So 5 million less than what Man City were asking for, and 10 million of that would be over time. And in response to that, Man City flat out rejects this offer. And it wasn't until there was only 2 hours left in the deadline day that Barcelona put in a second offer of the day for 10 million euros and 7 million euros in variables. And to that, yet again, Man City reject. Then that did take us to Barcelona's third and final offer, which was in the last hour of the transfer window. And Barca did raise it by 1 million to 10 million up front and 8 million in variables. And to that, once more, Man City does reject. And that did take us to the deadline of the transfer window. But for me, I don't see any point in why Man City rejected Barcelona. I know they were holding out for 20 million, but we did offer them up to 18 million euros. And immediately after the deadline, Eric Garcia did tell the Manchester City board that he will join Barcelona either in January or in June. And if it is in June, it will be for free because he will then be out of contract. But if he is to join in January, it will be a lot less than the 18 million euros that Barca did offer. And for that reason, I think that Man City were pretty foolish to not take that 18 million that Barca did offer. And on top of that, Man City have signed 2 new centre-backs that would probably get a game over Eric Garcia anyway. But Man City weren't the only ones who were foolish. Barca were also pretty foolish to sell Todibo without securing Eric Garcia. Because now we are only left with 4 centre-backs that are first-team quality. And that's even a bit of a stretch to say that, because it's unlikely that Umtiti will even stay match fit throughout the whole season. So that only leaves Araujo to come on for Longley and Piqué if Umtiti is injured. And that for me is just simply not good enough. We are far too thin at the back. And on top of that, Jordi Alba is injured and we don't know how long he's going to be away for. And we have sent Miranda off on loan, so that only leaves Junior Firpo at left back. So that really is terrible planning from the Barcelona board to leave us so thin at the back. But nevertheless, I will end it on a little bit of good news. Ricky Puig and Araujo have both been named as first team players and they will get their first team numbers. So expect to see that in the coming days. But that is everything from me, and the transfer window is now closed. But let me know what you thought of Barca's transfers and the deals that didn't quite get across the line. Let me know what you thought of the video. And thank you very much everyone for watching, and bye.